Let me ask you a question that may make you uncomfortable. How much of your life have you surrendered simply because you became tired of fighting for what you truly wanted? How many dreams did you quietly bury because waiting became frustrating? How many opportunities did you walk away from because rejection convinced you that you were not qualified? How many relationships, positions, situations, and environments have you accepted not because they were right for you, but because you were afraid that nothing better will come along? Take a moment and think about that. Because sometimes second place is not where somebody else puts you. Sometimes second place is where you place yourself. You place yourself second when you silence your voice to make everyone else comfortable. You place yourself second when you keep shrinking so insecure people will not feel threatened by your growth. You place yourself second when you continue accepting half-hearted love, inconsistent support, empty promises, and opportunities that require you to betray who you are. You place yourself second when you know you were created for more, but you keep negotiating with less. So today I came to tell you, quit settling for second place. Now understand what I'm saying. There is nothing wrong with coming in second during a competition. Sometimes you gave everything you had, somebody else simply performed better. And that experience becomes preparation for your next victory. But there is a difference between finishing second and living second. See, finishing second can motivate you. Living second slowly destroys you. Living second means constantly placing your dreams behind everybody else's expectations. It means being the emergency contact for everyone while ignoring the emergency happening inside your own heart. It means pouring into everybody else's cup until your own soul is dying from thirst. You keep saying, one day I'm going to start, one day I'm going to apply, one day I'm going to leave, one day I'm going to write the book, one day I'm going to launch the business, one day I'm going to believe in myself. But every time one day arrives, you move it farther down the calendar. At some point, you must stop treating your purpose like an optional appointment. Your life cannot continue waiting in the lobby while fear sits in the executive office making all your decisions. Fear has been promoted long enough. Self-doubt has been in charge long enough. Other people's opinions have been holding the microphone long enough. It is time for you to stand up and declare, I will no longer be a supporting character in the story God gave me to live. See, you were not created to spend your entire life watching everybody else win from the sideline. You were not given gifts so you could keep them hidden underneath insecurity. You were not given a voice so you could whisper every time your truth needed to be spoken. You were not given a vision so you could abandon the moment somebody failed to understand it. See, stop expecting people who cannot see your destination to understand your direction. Some people will question your journey because they were never assigned to travel with you in the first place. See, some people will criticize your growth because the smaller version of you was easier for them to control. See, some people preferred you when you were confused, dependent, broken, and afraid. But you cannot keep living beneath your potential just to maintain relationships that only survive when you are struggling. You have spent enough time making yourself smaller. You have spent enough time apologizing for being ambitious. You have spent enough time pretending you do not care about the very dream that keeps waking you up in the middle of the night. See, that dream is not bothering you. It is calling you. It is reminding you that there is still more inside of you. There is another level of discipline inside of you. There is another level of courage inside of you. There is another level of creativity, leadership, strength, and determination inside of you. But you will never meet that version of yourself while remaining comfortable with mediocrity. See, a seed cannot become a tree by remaining comfortable inside of a shell. At some point, it must break open. At some point, it must push through the darkness. At some point, it must fight through the weight of the soil covering it. And what feels like pressure is often the very thing preparing you to rise. So stop interpreting every difficult season as proof that you should quit. Sometimes resistance is confirmation that you are moving. See, a parked car does not experience when resistance. The resistance comes when you begin gaining speed. So when oppositions come, do not automatically assume that you are going in the wrong direction. You may finally be moving toward the life you were supposed to live. So quit settling. Quit settling for being tolerated when you deserve to be valued. Quit settling for being somebody's option when you have consistently made them a priority. Quit settling for rooms where your gifts are ignored, your voice is dismissed, and your presence is only appreciated when somebody needs something from you. Quit settling for opportunities that requires you to lose your integrity in order to gain visibility. Quit settling for temporary comfort when your future requires permanent transformation. See, you cannot become who you are meant to be while constantly returning to what you have outgrown. See, the old version of you may feel familiar, but familiar does not always mean healthy. A cage can be familiar. Change can become familiar. Pain can become familiar. Even disappointment can become so familiar that peace begins to feel suspicious. But just because you have learned how to survive somewhere does not mean you are supposed to remain there. You are not created merely to survive. You were created to grow. You were created to build. You were created to contribute. You were created to become, and becoming requires a decision, not a feeling. Not perfect circumstances, not everybody's approval, but a decision. A decision to stop waiting for permission, a decision to stop introducing yourself through your failures, a decision to stop allowing yesterday's mistakes to determine tomorrow's possibility, a decision to believe that your life can change, even if it has not changed yet. You may not be where you want to be, but you are not disqualified. You may have fallen, but you are not finished. You may have been overlooked, but you are not invincible. You may have been delayed, but you have not been denied the ability to move forward. Your comeback does not need permission from the people who celebrated your breakdown. Stand up anyway. Apply again, write again, build again, love yourself again, believe again. Walk into the next room with your shoulders back, your head lifted, and the understanding that you do not have to beg for a seat at a table where your value must constantly be explained. Sometimes the rejection was not meant to destroy you, it was meant to redirect you. Sometimes the door did not close because you were unworthy. It closed because the room was too small for where your purpose was taking you. You have been crying over places that could not contain you. You have been questioning yourself because people with limited visions could not recognize your value. But see, diamonds do not lose their worth because somebody mistake them for glass. Gold does not become worthless because somebody leaves it buried in the ground. And you, my friend, do not become less valuable because somebody failed to appreciate you. Their inability to recognize your worth does not reduce your worth, but you must recognize it. You must stop standing in front of the mirror repeating the words of people who never understood you. You must stop wearing labels that were placed on you during your weakest moments. You are not your worst mistake. You are not the rejection. You are not the divorce. You are not the job loss. You are not the opportunity you missed. You are not the person who abandoned you. You are not the season that almost broke you. You are not the person who survived it. And now it's time to do more than survive. It is time to rise. It is time to stop living like the best parts of your life has already happened. See, there are still doors you have not opened. There are still people you have not inspired. There are still rooms you have not entered. There are still ideas you have not created. There are still prayers that are being answered through the person you're becoming. Do not allow impatience to make you settle. Do not allow loneliness to make you settle. Do not allow age to make you settle. Do not allow comparison to make you settle. See, your timeline may look different, but different does not mean deficient. A rose and an oak tree do not bloom on the same schedule, but both have beauty, strength, and purpose. Stop comparing your chapter 3 to somebody else's chapter 20. See, your journey is still being written, but you must participate in the writing. You cannot keep handing the pen to fear and then complaining about how the story ends. You cannot keep handing the pen to fear and then complaining about how the story ends. Take the pen back, write courage into your next chapter, write discipline into your next chapter, write boundaries into your next chapter, write healing, purpose, faith, consistency, and self-respect into your next chapter. And when life asks you, who gave you permission to rise? Tell life, I finally gave permission to myself. So today, make a declaration. I will no longer settle for less because I'm afraid of waiting for more. I will no longer abandon myself to keep other people comfortable. I will no longer confuse being patient with being passive. I will no longer allow fear to turn my temporary situations into a permanent address. I will keep growing. I will keep building. I will keep believing. I will keep moving, not because the road is easy, not because I have all the answers, but because I finally understand that I am responsible for what I do with the life I have been given. So quit settling for second place in your own life. Stop standing behind fear. Stop placing your purpose behind other people's opinions. Stop putting your healing behind your responsibilities. Stop treating yourself like an afterthought. You have spent enough time waiting. You have spent enough time doubting. You have spent enough time watching from the sidelines. This is your moment to rise. This is your moment to choose life. This is your moment to become intentional about the life you say you want. Because one day you will look back at this season, make sure you can say, that was the moment I stopped settling. That was the moment I stopped shrinking. That was the moment I took my life out of second place and started becoming everything I was created to be. You do not need to defeat everybody around you. You only need to defeat the version of yourself that keeps accepting less. Your greatest competition is not another person. I'm sorry to tell you this. It is your comfort zone. It is your fear. It is your excuses. It is the voice telling you to remain where you are because trying again might hurt. But staying stuck hurts too. Living with regrets hurts too. Watching your dreams die because you were afraid to move hurts too. So choose the pain that produces growth. Choose the discomfort that leads to freedom. Choose the discipline that creates a future you will be proud to live. So quit settling for second place. Your purpose deserves your full participation. Your future deserves your courage. And you, my friend, deserve the opportunity to discover what your life can become when you finally stop accepting less than your best.